Law enforcement is searching for 26-year-old mother of two, Tiffany Brown.
She was last seen leaving her home.
Tiffany Brown vanished.
We need to find her. Her boys need to find her.
Tiffany's whereabouts in the hours before she disappears coming to light. Reports say she picked up a bank deposit from her mom's beauty salon around 3 p.m., dropping it off at the bank. Around 4:30, she picks up her sons from their Christian day school. But after dropping them off at home with the babysitter, what happens next to Tiffany is unknown. Tiffany's mom says she's the type of person who would never leave her kids and is always punctual.
How tough has this been?
Oh, you don't even know. I can't even describe that, you know?
Tiffany's parents tell us on Saturday someone did send a text message from her phone to the father of her two children, but they don't think that message was from her.
I know it wasn't her. Tiffany does not write illiterate. This was an illiterate texting message.
We are taking your calls out to Cassandra in Missouri. Hi, Cassandra.
Hi, Nancy. How are you?
I'm good, dear. What's your question?
Well, I'm just excited to speak to you. My question is, okay, you said they had a type of a illiterate text message. So does that mean that would that be from a baby's father? Has he been questioned, or has any investigation with him for the kids to come up missing?
Well, I know he lived quite a ways away. Is that not correct, Joel Mass? Joel joining us from the Bell Fountain Examiner.
That's correct. He lived in Milford. Well, he lives in Milford, and it's down around Cincinnati. It's about a 2-hour drive away. And as far as I know, they are not confirming whether they've talked with him yet or not. I asked that today, and they said that he probably would be talked to. He probably was a number of people they wanted to talk to, but they would not confirm they had interviewed him yet.
To Deborah Neely, this is Tiffany's mother. Miss Neely, that phone call that was made from her phone early in the morning, to whom was the call made?
We don't know. It was made to someone in Chicago. We don't know who it was.
Now, she was on good relations with the children's father, right?
They still spoke. They weren't together, but they still spoke.
Back to the lawyers, Sue Moss, Raymond Giudice, Alex Sanchez. Ray Giudice, very often investigation starts with the ex, the boyfriend, the husband, the lover. Why?
Well, it only makes sense. You want to talk to the people that are closest, both physically, closest in communication, and maybe even intimately closest. That only means it's part of a thorough investigation. It doesn't put the focus on anyone. I'm surprised a week later if the ex-husband has not been spoken to.
What about it, Sanchez?
The police have an absolutely superb lead here, and that's that cell phone. Who did those calls go to? Were there prior text messages to that same person? How come the police have not spoken to that person already? What about prior email contact between that person and the missing woman right here? There's so many leads that can be developed from this information that could crack this case wide open very quickly, Nancy.
What about it, Dr. Saunders?
So many loose ends here. I agree with Alex. There are other loose ends. There was a missing sticker on the bumper about look out for motorcycles. She liked to ride on motorcycles. Want to find out who her motorcycle pals were, things like that.
To Mark Klass, founder of Klass Kids Foundation. Mark, it seems to me that we're going to learn more from the clues in the car as opposed to a call that she may have made, that someone may have pushed resend or I don't know what in the cell phone, because these calls were to people that were out of town.
That's correct. And if there was an illiterate text message made, that might be an indicator that the person that's involved in her disappearance is not particularly bright and may very well have left some forensic evidence behind in her car. As far as that bumper sticker being peeled off, I can't make heads or tails out of that one way or the other.
To Dr. Michael Arnall, board-certified forensic pathologist, with every hour that passes, hopes dim for finding her. What's your experience in this?
The longer she goes without being discovered, the more ominous that is. It suggests there may well be foul play.
I want to find out more, Jen Gasaris, about the condition of the car.
Well, the car, this is what's so odd. The car was found, as you know, at this apartment complex. It's the Colonial Arms apartment, and it was unlocked, and the driver's seat was pushed way back, like a tall person was in it. She wasn't tall, and that is giving investigators a lot of information at this point.
Well, obviously, somebody else drove the car to that location. You'd think, though, Jinkasara, somebody that kidnapped her would not have driven the car straight to where they live and leave the car.
Right. Now, she knew somebody at that apartment complex, but that person has said that they have not seen her.
To Deborah Neely, Tiffany's mom, what do you make of her car being parked in that apartment complex?
We don't know why it was parked there. To our knowledge, she doesn't know anybody there. We just don't have any clue at this point.
I want to go to Ellie Johnston, our chief editorial producer. You told me they questioned a man that lives in the apartment complex. I mean, come on, Ellie. A kidnapper or a killer is not going to, if they're in their right mind, take the car, the woman's car, and park it in their apartment complex. It's like taking out a neon sign. Hi, here I am. Come and get me.
Right, right. And this is an apartment complex that has 6 units that are duplexes. Police went door to door, canvassed that area, even brought in a dog team to try to find scent, anything related to her. We had been told that a man was questioned, said he didn't know her, later turned out he did, but unknown if that produced any sort of leads.
We are taking your calls. Tammy in Georgia. Hi, Tammy. What's your question?
Hi, Nancy. This is Tammy. I'm in Valdosta, some of your old stomping grounds.
Sure is.
I want to know, back to the bank, if by chance they've looked at the videotape to see if there was anyone who was watching her in the bank or followed her out of the bank.
You know, that's a really good question. What do we know, Joel Mast?
They're not saying a whole lot about it right now. I just want to say that the police department has been investing as much resources as they can in it. They've given authorization to do overtime, that type of thing. I've seen a very serious resolve in their faces as they looked at this case. But they're not saying a whole lot about what evidence they have at this point in time. And